So standing in mountain pose, my favourite pose, you all know this, feet fist width apart. I want you to think about pushing your feet into the floor. Really think about how the weight is distributed on your feet. And you've got the 3 points I always talk about on your feet. So the ball of your big toe, the ball of your little toe, and your heel. Your weight should be evenly distributed. Squeeze your bottom muscles and be aware of how that changed your tummy physique. Lift your tummy button away from your spine. But don't be aware if your ribs, if you've lifted your belly button, what some people tend to do is, I've lifted my belly button, but some people arch backwards slightly. And if you've done that, your ribs are now sticking out. So you want to think about pushing your ribs down, just to straighten you out, but keep your tummy nice and engaged. Shoulders back and down, palms facing forwards. Think about trying to reach your fingers down to the floor and your thumb to come round so that it's pointing almost up to the ceiling. And that's a really good stretch for your arms. You'll feel a stretch come all the way through your arms here. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And make sure your neck's nice and in line. I know this is a really slow build, but this is a really good posture that you should bring into everything that we do in yoga. So any move we do, even laying down, you can do this move. So just close your eyes, just breathe nice and gently. Just inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So think about your intentions for your yoga practice today. Think about what it is you want to get out of it. You want to loosen your back off or release tight shoulders or feel some movement through your legs. Set that as your intention and join along with my practice today. So open your eyes and we're going to start with our shoulders. So just roll your shoulders back and down. Just bring them round. Make sure you're breathing and take your shoulders back the other way. So we're starting working on the shoulders. We're going to do a little bit of work to warm them up and bring them to stillness. Let's just warm the neck up as well. So just look round to the left, back to the centre, round to the right, back to the centre. One more time, either way. Back to the. We're going to inhale, bring both arms up to the sky, palms facing each other. And you're going to lean over to the right hand side. Just seeing the message coming, sorry. Oh, we've gone live already. Where's Jan gone? Hang on, I'm just trying to get Jan on. So hopefully you come back to the centre and you've exhaled over to the other side. Bring yourself back to the centre and lower yourself down. Let me just try and get Jan in. Okay, sorry. So bring your hands back down to your side. We're going to do that again, but we're just going to do one arm. So you leave your left arm down by your side. Inhale your other arm up to the sky. And as you exhale, come on over. Think about pushing your left hand down towards your knee and your right hand up to the sky. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Inhale back to the centre and exhale the hand down. Inhale up and exhale over. Inhale up and exhale down. Just roll your shoulders. And bring them to stillness. We're going to give ourselves a nice little hug. So bring your hands onto your shoulders. And I want you to think about bringing your elbows up. You want to pull your shoulders away from themselves, kind of hugging yourself and lifting your shoulders at the same time. So your back should stay nice and straight. And then exhale, lower your shoulders down, lower your elbows, and release your hands. We're going to take the hands behind our backs, intertwine your fingers, bring them down towards the base of your bottom. Think about your shoulder blades and pull your shoulder blades together behind you. And pull your hands further away down towards the floor. Make sure your neck's nice and straight, and hopefully you're not feeling any discomfort. If you are, just release the tension a little bit. If you feel you can go a little bit further, think about bringing your hands away from your bottom. Just gently put in the back. And breathe nice and gently. And slowly exhale. Lower your hands, give them a little shake. I think we've lost Jan for good there now. She's completely gone. So I'm just going to come down onto my knees, but you can stay standing up. It's just that if I put my hands up above me, you can't see me. So what I want you to do now is we're going to do cow face arms. So palms down to the, so you're coming into mountain pose. I want you to inhale your left arm up to the sky and bend at the elbow, bring the hand down behind your back. So this is about trying to stretch and open through the arm and the chest, and you might feel some tightness, you might not have the full range of movement. But what you can do is use your other hand, just pull forward. Just give it a nice gentle pull. So you can see my hand normally rests like this, and I've got a big open gap here. But by adding my other arm in, I can pull that right back towards my head. And then exhale, just lower both hands down. And do the same. So inhale, lift the right arm up, bend the elbow, bring it down behind your head. Bring the other arm over and allow yourself to just pull that closer. I think Jan's just joined us again. Are you there, Jan? We're just warming up our shoulders if you are. And then exhale, just lower your hands down to the floor. You don't have to be on your knees, by the way. She's gone again. So inhale, bring your hands up. And we're going to do eagle arms now. So cross your right hand underneath your left hand. Bring the arms up. And you're just trying to bring your palms closer together. Just turn sideways so you can see me. You might not want to. Might be more preferable to have it like that, to be honest. And then slowly. What we're going to do is think about lifting the elbows up. So you want to bring the elbows up away from your chest. Give them a good stretch. You should feel this right between your shoulder blades as if you're trying to pull apart those rhomboids. We're stretching them, trying to reactivate them a little bit. And if you can, think about sort of bending forward. So keep your tummy engaged. Just slowly bend yourself forward. Just come to where's comfortable, where your body's letting you. And then inhale, bring it back to the centre. Release your palms, release your hands, come back down. Lovely, give them a good shake. So we're going to do the other side. So inhale, lift the palms up. Exhale, cross the left arm underneath this time. Bring the arms round. You don't have to be kneeling, you can be standing. I'm only doing this so you can see my arms. So inhale, lift your shoulders away from your chest. Keep your shoulders down. And let's see if we can lean forward a little bit. So inhale, just lean forward, gently stretching those shoulders out. giving the muscles a bit of a stretch out. Again, if this feels uncomfortable in any shape or form, just move yourself out. And then inhale, bring yourself back up. Release your hands. Give them a nice little shake. Well done. So we're just going to bring the arms out in front of us. Your palms should be facing down and you should be standing in mountain pose. So remember, squeeze the bottom, push the feet, and go into tummy. And I want you to turn your palms to face upwards. So just look along your hands. So for me, it feels like my palms are both flat and pointing up to the sky. When I look down my left arm, it's nice and flat. But when I look down my right arm, I've got an angle to it slightly. So I really need to focus on pulling that hand round. It just shows for me, there's a slight weakness somewhere from my chest to my arm that's making me not be able to turn my hand around properly. So this is what yoga is about. It's about trying to find those little things that need working on. Okay, lower the hands back down. And I'm going to do that again. So just take a breath. Just having your arms up like this is quite strengthening for the shoulders and the back. Inhale, lift your palms forward again. Again, just check them out. See if you can pull that hand around a little bit more if you can. Exhale, lower them down. Release your hands down to the floor. Just give those shoulders a little hug or shrug. So we're just going to shrug these shoulders right up to the ears. And competition for who can make the loudest noise when we exhale. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and one more time. Inhale, exhale. Lovely. So we're just going to loosen the wrists up a little bit. So bring your hands into your heart center. And I want you to push your hands together. So the palm of the hand and the fingertips are really pushing hard together. You'll find your elbows stick out a little bit more. If you were just holding prayer, you'll be like this. But if you want to push, you want the arms to be straight. So the elbows are in line. Good push. Lovely. And release. Just give the fingers a nice little shake. So we are going to do some sun salutations now. I'm going to teach a really basic form of sun salutation. I know that most of you are pretty good at your sun salutations, but with Jan and your foot, Jan, I'm just going to do a really nice, easy version to help you out. So everybody else, if you want to, you can move on up. I'll tell you which bits you can do in which place, but we're going to do it as gentle and as easy as we can. So come to the front of your mat. We're going to inhale, take the hands up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees and bend yourself down towards the floor. So fingertips reaching for the floor, your head's nice and relaxed. We're going to inhale and half lift. Open your chest, push your chest forward. Neck nice and in line. Exhale, bring yourself down. We're going to step back with the right foot. So bring the foot out to the floor and bring the knee to the floor. Release your back foot and now take your other foot to join it. So this is the bit that everybody always struggles with. So what the intention of this is you keep your bottom in the air and you bring your chest down to the floor and then bring your legs back. So coming up into Sphinx, bring yourself up. You can come up into Cobra if you want to. I want you to think about your chest. Push your chest forward. That's the way that helps to increase the range of movement in your back. And then exhale, lower your head down to the floor. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes under, and you're just going to push back into tabletop. Coming into tabletop. And we're going to go into downward dog. So tuck your toes under, push your bottom up to the sky. Release your feet, push your heels towards the floor. Try and bring yourself into a nice downward dog. Relax the neck. Your hamstrings and your calves are really tight. Then bend the knees ever so slightly.
And then we're going to exhale, bring the knees back down to the floor. Release the toes. We're going to step forward with our right foot because we're working on the right side. But if you need some assistance, what you can do is use your right hand, bring it to the elbow, to the knee, sorry, and bring that hand and the leg forward. Put the hand to the floor, tuck your back toes under, and step forward. Staying in a forward bend. Relax the neck. We're going to then inhale, bring yourself up to the sky. Hands together, bring them down to your heart centre and back into mountain pose. Make sure your mountain pose is nice and strong. I don't want any of this weak stuff. Not that I can see you, you're probably sitting on the sofa. We're going to do that again. So I'm going to do the same version again. You can progress yourself to wherever you need to do. So inhale, hands up to the sky. Just gently look up towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, swan dive your hands down towards the floor. Relax the neck, bend the knees. And then you're going to push your chest forward. Open up, coming into half lift. You can straighten the legs if you need to, or you can. Exhale, bring the hands back down, bend the knees. Bring your hands to the floor. We're going to step back into plank or into tabletop. As you inhale, take your left foot back and bring the foot to the floor. Release the toes, bring the other leg round to join it. And then we're going to come down into laying on the floor. So bend your elbows, bring your head down towards the floor and allow your legs to come back. Coming into Sphinx, bring your forearms to the floor, bring yourself up. Exhale, lower your head down to the floor, hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes back and come into downward dog, or you come into tabletop. And then you come up into downward dog. So think about your tummy muscles, squeeze your tummy muscles up to your spine. If your knees and your hamstrings feel way too tight, or your calves, then just bend your knees and take your heels away from the floor. And then we're going to step forward towards the hands. So if you want to step forward from here, you can do. If not, you can lower your knees to the floor, release your toes and use your hand. So bring your hand towards your knees and use the hand to pull yourself forward. Bring the hand back to the floor, tuck your back toes and push that foot now back towards your forward bend. Release the head, relax. Just breathe nice and gently. And I'm going to inhale, bring the hands up towards the sky. Just gently look up to your hands if you want to add a forward bend, a back bend. Bring your hands to your heart centre and release. Okay, so that was the easiest form of doing a sun salutation. If you want to stay there and do that, then just follow that through. If not, we're going to progress it a little bit further. So entirely up to you. Inhale, bring your hands up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive your hands to the floor. I want you to inhale and half lift and lift your chest, point your chest forwards. Exhale, bring your hands back down. Inhale, step back with your right foot, then your left foot. And as you exhale, take your knees, release your toes, and bring your head and chest to the floor. And come up into Cobra if you fancy, inhaling up. And as you exhale, take your head down towards the floor, tuck your toes, and push back into downward dog. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. So feel your body, be aware of where everything feels. I can feel back of one of my calves is a little bit tight. One of my shoulders is a little bit tight today. So I'm just aware of where that is and I'm trying not to put too much stress on it. On your next inhale, bring your right foot forward towards your hands. Again, if you want to, you can always use the hand to bring the leg forward as well. Release the hand, bring the other leg forward. Coming into a forward bend. Relax your neck down. And then inhale, bring your hands up towards the sky. Hands to your heart centre. And exhale, allow them to come down towards your side. Onto the left side, inhale up. Exhale, swan dive your hands to the floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, step back with your right foot into plank. Then your left foot into plank. And as you exhale, take your knees, release your feet, and lower your body down to the floor. Inhale, come up into cobra. Think about your shoulders. You don't want your shoulders right by your ears. You want gap. You need to be able to see the neck. Exhale, lower your head down to the floor. Tuck your toes under. Push yourself back into downward dog. We're going to bring the left leg forward. You can use a hand if you want. So bring the hand forward, leg forward. Bring the other leg to join it. Staying down in a forward bend. Just gently breathing. Seeing if you can be aware of where your body feels the stretch. You should feel something through the back of the calves or maybe through your hamstrings. And then inhale. Lift your hands up towards the sky. Hands to your heart centre. Into your chest. And then down into mountain pose. Well done, lovely. So we're going to do a little bit of work now on our backs and our tummies. So we're going to lay on the floor. So I'm going to come a little bit closer. So bring yourself down onto your back. You want to keep your knees bent, so just bring your back to the floor. And we're just going to do a really good stretch for your lower back. So I would like you to think about where your shoulders are. So my shoulders are slightly turned round and upwards, and I can feel that this part of my shoulder isn't touching the floor. So I'm going to push my shoulder down so that it comes to the floor. So it's much better. I've got less gap there. Same on both sides. I want you to think about your tummy and your back. So how is your back laying on the floor? Does it feel like you're pushing the back into the floor, so you're squashing the back into the floor? Or do you feel like your back's really arched? Those are the two extremes. And what we've got to do is find what's called neutral. And you want to sort of rock your back from front to back until you find that midway point. And when you feel that you've just got enough room to lightly get your fingertips in to the side of your back, but not all the way through, that's good posture. And that's what we want to hold. So I want you to squeeze your belly button down towards your spine, but your spine doesn't want to flatten into the floor. You really want to squash your belly down, give it a good squeeze. So just be aware of that position. We're going to come back to that in a minute. So I want you to just be aware of that nice neutral spine, and we'll come back to it. So just bring your hands out to the floor. I want you, if you've got room, to bring them out into a T position with your palms facing upwards. So your arms and your shoulders should be flat to the floor. If you're on a mat on the floor, take your little toes out to the edge of the mat. If you're just doing it on carpet, then if you look down towards your feet, you should be able to see your feet either side of your bottom. And what we're going to do is just twist from side to side. So the first two we're going to do, we're going to take the left knee and head it down towards the right foot, and the right knee heads down to the floor off the mat. Just a nice gentle stretch. Now think about your left knee. I want you to try and push your left knee towards your right foot even further, so you feel like you're pushing the thigh and the knee all the way down, and it should provide you with a really big stretch through the front of your thigh. Squeeze your left bottom cheek, and that might make the stretch even more. It doesn't want to be an uncomfortable stretch, but I'm just trying to show you that you've probably got in your thigh that you want to work on. So inhale, bring your legs back to the centre. And exhale, take them over to the other side. Again, think about your right foot heading towards your left foot, so your right knee heading towards your left foot. Really push that knee away from you, so you're trying to stretch out all the way from your hip, all the way down to the bottom of your knee. Squeeze your right bottom cheek. That will intensify the stretch, opens the hip out nicely. Just don't make sure it's not too uncomfortable, but this is a stretch that you will grow into. It's my new favourite stretch. Inhale, bring the knees back up to the sky. We're going to do that one more time, but what I'd like you to think about now is your shoulders. So if you suffer from tight shoulders, I'm going to ask you to put your hands into cactus position. So your elbows are bent and your fingers are pointing in the same way that your head's pointing. And this will create an extra stretch through your chest when we do this. So as you exhale, take your left knee down to your right foot. Really push that knee away from you, down towards the right foot. Squeeze your bottom and be aware of maybe your chest getting involved. So on this side, the stretch is coming from the left shoulder all the way down the left leg. Inhale, bring it back to the centre. And exhale over. Right knee towards left foot. Really push that knee away. Feel like you're getting a good stretch. Squeeze your bottom. Predominantly the right side, so that it helps stretch your thigh out a little bit more. If you feel any discomfort through your shoulders, then you can always release them back down to that T position. But this is really good for the shoulders, just trying to stretch them out. And inhale, bring the knees back to the centre. Just inhale, bring your right knee to your chest. Exhale, bring your left knee to your chest and just squeeze them into your chest. Just rock yourself gently. Well done. Okay, so feet back to the floor. I'd like you to do a little bit of work on your tummy muscles today. So feet shoulder width apart, feet to the floor still, and I want you to get that neutral spine. So remember, not too arched, not too flat to the floor. I can just get my fingertips towards my spine, and I want to now squeeze my belly button right the way down towards my floor, my back, sorry, and hopefully you can feel a little bit of muscle activating because we've done that. So we're going to put the hands to the floor, push the shoulders into the floor, open the chest, and I want you to think about coming up into bridge position, but we're not coming up very far at all. You're just going to lift the bottom gently off the floor, so probably 1 inch or 2 inches away from the floor, and then squeeze your bottom muscles really tightly. Make sure your tummy muscles are nice and engaged too. And exhale, lower your bottom down. Keep that back in a neutral position, engage your tummy muscles. Do the same again. So inhale, lift your back off the floor. Just a small movement, a couple of inches, no more. Squeeze the bottom. Really, really squeeze it. And now I want you to push your heels into the floor. That might mean your bottom lifts a little bit more, but keep it engaged, keep it working, and keep squeezing your tummy muscles towards your spine. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift again. Squeeze your bottom muscles. Make sure they're both squeezed the same amount, give them a good prod. Engage your tummy muscles, push all of your foot, your heel, the balls of your feet, your toes into the floor. Really feel that stretch and the body working. I can really feel that my bottom muscles get involved in this now. Then exhale, lower them down. We're going to add a small amount of complexity. If you don't want to go with the complexity, you can carry on doing what we just did. But what we're going to do is a one-legged bridge. So we're going to take our left ankle and put it onto our right knee, like you would do if you were doing a figure of 4 with the leg. So your knee, left knee is out to the side and your ankle is on the knee. So we're going to do the same thing again. You might want your hands on the floor to balance you. You're going to squeeze your bottom muscles, engage your tummy muscles, and inhale, lift off the floor. Again, it's only a small movement. Squeeze your bottom muscles and think about your hips. Maybe put your hands onto your hips. And do you feel like your hips are level? I'm finding that my left hip slightly dropped slightly, so I just need to squeeze my bottom muscles, get everything a little bit more in line. Engage my tummy muscles. Squeeze your bottom. And exhale, lower your back to the floor. Release the foot. We'll swap over to the other side. Make sure your feet are still shoulder width apart when you're transitioning, and then cross the right ankle onto the left knee. Just put your hands onto your hips, squeeze your bottom, engage your tummy muscles, make sure you're in that neutral position, and then inhale, lift your back off the floor. Squeeze them firmly, those booty muscles you've got. Keep your tummy nice and engaged. And exhale, lower your back down to the floor. Well done. Release the foot. Keep the knee in the air. Bring the other knee into your chest and then just rock from side to side. Just loosen off your back and any tension you might be feeling. So we're just going to put the feet to the floor. Bring your toes and your heels together and your knees together, and then we're going to do butterfly pose while laying down. So make sure your back's in neutral and that you're squeezing your belly towards your spine with a neutral spine. Keep that like that, and then open the knees as you exhale. Bring the soles of your feet together. Just keep that tummy nicely engaged. Just allow your hips a good little stretch. Just lay here, feeling the stretch come through your inner thighs. Be aware of what's happening in your glute muscles. Hopefully they're not too tense, that you've relaxed them. You might find your knees slowly come down towards the floor a little bit as your body relaxes. Okay, and then when you're ready, on your next inhale, bring your knees back together. So we're going to lift our legs into the air, keeping the knees bent. You're going to inhale your right knee, exhale your left knee, and we're going to find that neutral position again. So think about your back. You don't want your back to be arching or too squashed to the floor. Engage your tummy muscle and pull your tummy muscles down towards your spine. We're just going to do a small little crunch. If you have trouble with your neck and you find that your head and your neck get discomfort if you were to lift your head off the floor, you can bring your hands and rest your hands just underneath your head. They're there for support. They're not there to pull. Your tummy and your body should be doing the work, not your neck. And that's how you would stay, and then you would inhale up and exhale down. If you're okay and you feel your neck feels quite strong, then just bring your hands to your knees. As you inhale, you're going to bring your body off the floor, and if you've got your hands to your knees, you're reaching down towards your feet. Squeeze the stomach muscles in, and exhale, come down. If you've got your hands behind your head, just rest them there gently. They're there for support. So inhale, lift up, and exhale, come on down. So choose what works for you. Just keep going. Inhaling up, squeeze your tummy muscles towards your spine. And exhale, lower down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Couple more. Inhale up. Keep that back nice and neutral. Squeeze your tummy muscles down towards your spine. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Just gently bring your hands to your knees. Give yourself a nice little hug. Because we're not allowed hugs from many other people. Okay, so we're going to take the legs back out to that position. So bring the knees out and bring the feet into that position. Take your arms down to the floor, push your shoulders into the floor. And what we're going to do is take our left leg away from us. Make sure your back's in neutral, your tummy's engaged. And as you exhale, you take the leg away from you. You can straighten it and it can be really high in the sky, or you can take it down. But just be careful on how your back is. If you feel like your back is arching in this position, then it's not right for you to take it that far. You haven't got the strength in your tummy to do that. So bring the knee back as you inhale. And then exhale, take the other leg down. You don't need to put the leg to the floor, just holding it where works for you. Inhale, lift the leg, keep the tummy engaged. Really reset yourself, squeeze the tummy in. Don't push the back into the floor, keep the back neutral, but push the belly to the spine. Exhale your leg out. The longer your lever, the lower it is to the floor, the harder this position is to do. Inhale, lift it back up. Reset your tummy. Exhale, lower the leg down. Really squeeze, lower that leg down. Be careful of any joint problems in your hips. Don't take it too far if your hips won't allow. Inhale, bring it back. Couple more. Exhale down with your left leg. Inhale up. Squeeze the tummy muscles in. Exhale down. Keep your shoulders on the floor. And inhale, bring it back. Just hug your knees to your chest. You're all doing amazingly. Well done. Just rock yourself gently from side to side. And we're going to make that one a little bit harder. So take the knees back out. Your knees, you really need to have like a 90-degree angle here. The harder you have the angle here, the harder your tummy's working. If you have your knees too close to your chest, it won't work so well. So it's really good to think about bringing the legs out as far as you can. So we're going to add the hands into this one now. So you're going to inhale, lift your arms up, take them towards the sky. Make sure you bring your shoulders down to the floor, so pull them down. And we're going to take the arms back towards the back of the room whilst doing we'll just do the arms. We'll show you the arms first. So as you exhale, take your left arm down towards the floor. Be careful with your shoulder. If there's any tension, only take it to where your shoulder will allow, and then bring it back. Exhale, take the right arm down. Keep your tummy engaged and inhale the arm up. Exhale your left arm down. Make sure your knees are at 90-degree angles and your hips are at 90-degree angles. Inhale, lift the arm up. Exhale down with the right arm. Squeeze your tummy towards your spine. Spine should be neutral. Inhale up. One more time, either side. Inhale the left arm down. Exhale, bring it up. Sorry, that was an inhale, bring it up. Exhale, take the arm down. Inhale, bring the arm up. And then just relax again. You can put your feet to the floor if you want to. Just take the pressure out of your back. Just give your legs and your bottom a nice little wiggle. And then we're going to add the arms to the legs. So inhale your right leg up. Exhale your left knee up. Your feet should be up at 90-degree angle from your knees. And you're going to inhale, lift your arms up. So remember, reset your spine. Neutral spine, you want neither too arched or too flat to the floor. Engage your core muscles, squeeze them in. And we're going to take the left leg down to the floor, right hand to the floor. Think about it. Exhale down. Keep that tummy tight. Inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale up. Keep that tummy. Give it a good squeeze. Exhale down. And inhale. Exhale down. And inhale up. Let's do one more on either side. Inhale up. Exhale the left arm down, right foot down. And bring it back to centre. And just give your knees a nice big squeeze. Sorry, I'm running out of battery charge. Forgot to plug in. There we go. Okay, so well done. stay on your back. One more movement. Feet to the floor, back nice and neutral. I want your feet together and your knees together, and your palms down to the floor to balance you. We're just going to rotate the knees over to the left and right. So inhale, take them over to the left. And then on your inhale, bring them back. Exhale, take them over to the right. Try and keep your feet in line with each other, so your toes, your heels and the balls of your feet are together. Inhale, lift them up, bring the feet back to the floor. Exhale, over to the left, bring the feet in line with each other, knees in line. Really think about that stretch coming through your spine. Inhale, bring it back to the centre. And exhale, take it down to the other side. Well done. One more inhale, bring them back to the centre. And we're going to come up to seated. So if your blood pressure's low, roll to the left. Blood pressure's high, roll to the right. And then just naturally just bring yourself up if everything's fine. Okay, so we're going to do some cat and cow now. Just adjusting my hair. I seem to have pulled it all out. Coming up onto your knees. Hands underneath your shoulders. Knees should be hip width apart. So we're going to do cat and cow, but in a new way that I did last week. So I want you to think about your palms. Push your palms into the floor and your arms should be nice and straight. Instead of arching your back down to the floor, I want you to push your chest forward. So think about your chest and push the chest forward, looking up with your chest. So that's the front half of the body adjusted. Now I want you to think about your bottom. Push your bottom up towards the sky and away from you, feeling like you've got a nice arch coming into your back. As you exhale, you want to think about pulling your belly up towards your spine. So your belly is pushing your spine up, not your spine doing the work. So this is about strengthening your tummy muscles to make sure you do the curve in the right place. So push your hands into the floor, push your knees and your feet into the floor, push your belly into your spine. And bring yourself back to neutral, and we're going to start again. Inhale, push your chest forward, look up with your chest. Push your bottom up towards the sky and away from you. Feel like your bottom muscles are pushing it away rather than your back doing the work. So we've got our chest and our bottom doing the work rather than our back. One more time, coming into cat. So engage your tummy muscles, push your tummy muscles up, squeeze them, push, 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 all the way up. Push your hands, your knees, your feet into the floor. Relax your neck down. Back into neutral. We're going to do it one more time. Inhale. I want you to push your chest forward and your bottom backwards. Push it up towards the sky and away from you. So you're almost lengthening your spine rather than just sort of dropping it to the floor. So on your next exhale, squeeze your tummy muscles up towards your spine. Really squeeze them up. Allow your head to come down naturally as your back adjusts to the curve. Keep squeezing those tummy muscles in. Push your hands, your knees, your feet into the floor. And exhale, bring it back to neutral. Well done, everybody. Just bring yourself back so that you're sitting back on your knees, and that's quite tough on the wrists. So just give your wrists a nice little wiggle. little flicker left and right. Just do whatever you need to make your wrists feel a little bit nicer. Well done, everybody. So we are going to come into Shavasana now. So there's many different ways you can do Shavasana when you have other props around you. When you're in a studio, you've just got the floor. But if you're in your lounge, you might have a sofa. So you could lay with your bottom up to the sofa with your legs up and over the sofa. You could sit on the sofa and just chill out and relax in the sofa. It's another way to meditate. Might be another useful piece of armoury. So if you try it and you like it, you might do it again. You can lay on the floor. You can lay on the floor with your knees bent if your back feels super arched. Or you could actually just sit up cross-legged. So it's entirely up to you. I've given you all the options I can think of. So get yourself comfortable. If you've got a towel, for example, you could put a towel over your eyes, just a little hand towel to just cover the light out of your eyes. It's a very bright day today, and I'm not concerned about that. I think it's lovely. I love the sunshine. Hopefully heading out for a walk this afternoon, going to my Bluebell Woods. So, if you're in position, get yourself nice and relaxed and start to focus on your breathing. So yesterday I did a class and I had a heart monitor on. And by the end of the class, before we started Shavasana, my heart rate was up to 90. And within a few minutes of laying in Shavasana, I'd got my heart rate down to about 58. And it then stayed down at 58 because I was controlling my breathing. As soon as I stopped my breathing, my heart rate came back up to about 70. So focus and concentrate on your breath as you do this. And it really does help calm you down, lower your blood pressure, lower your pulse. So just breathing nice and gently and be aware of your breath. I'd like you to focus your breath in a slightly different way. We're just going to do a nice slow count of 3 for your inhale and exhale for a count of 3. So just inhaling and exhaling. I'd like you to think about trying to calm the noise of your breath down. So we naturally breathe, and when we focus on our breath, we really feel there's a real breathness sound to it. So I'd like you to see if you can bring your breath to a quietness. Just keep breathing, using the count of 3. Inhale and exhale. And see whether you can still keep that breath quiet. So I'd like you to think about changing your breath to a count of 4. So inhale for 4 and exhale for 4. So if you're still trying to keep your breath quiet, you can release that now and allow your breath to sound normal. So let's focus on the movement of your body as you breathe. As you inhale and as you exhale, be aware of the movement that happens in around your ribs and your chest area, even your tummy. Take your focus internally. You might find that you can really feel your ribs moving. Concentrate. See whether you can imagine your lungs moving up and down. You almost want to take your vision inside your body. Or you might find your tummy is really moving with your breath. So inhaling and exhaling. If you've been to one of my classes where we've built a happy place, then why not take yourself to your happy place and just explore. It's really key that you keep your mind active in a positive way. So by thinking about your happy place and exploring it, it gives your mind something to think about and takes the focus away from the problems of the day. There may not be any problems in your day. It's just somewhere nice to disappear to every now and again. Does your happy place have a name? That when you think of that word, it automatically conjures up this safe haven that you've built. You don't have to have the same safe haven. You could have two. You could rebuild yourself another one. You may have a haven in a different season. One in the spring, one in the autumn. Or one in the winter, one in the summer. One at night, one during the day. It's totally up to you. Just by taking yourself off to one side, sitting on the sofa or laying on the bed with your eyes closed, conjuring up your perfect happy place. It will also help to bring your heart rate down, to calm your breathing. And aid relaxation and digestion. So we need to think about bringing ourselves round. Be mindful of where you are. So we're going to start off by just wiggling our fingers, wiggling our toes, just taking our neck from left to right and back again. And then we're going to do a full body stretch. So just be aware of your environment. If you've got room to stretch, be careful. Don't knock anything over. So inhale, take your arms behind your head to the back of the room. If your legs are up the sofa, you can still straighten them out and stretch them. But they're just pointing to the sky rather than along the floor. Really feel all the muscles involving themselves, stretching all the way from your fingertips to your toes, everywhere in between. And then as you exhale, bring your right knee to your chest, your left knee to your chest. Squeeze the knees in, rock gently from side to side. If you're still seated, then just sit with the legs crossed. Bring yourself up to a seated position, avoiding the sofa. Roll to the left if you've got low blood pressure, and roll to the right if you've got high blood pressure. And bring your hands together, with your hands at your heart centre. Relax your elbows down to your side. Engage your core muscles to help you sit up. And just breathe nice and gently, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. I give you praise for joining the session today, and I hope you've enjoyed your practice. Om Shanti. Namaste.